And we are back. Welcome back, everybody, to another Crypto Sherpa show where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you informed on what is going on in this crypto space. And happy Saturday! Woo! Sorry I didn't have a video for y'all the last 2 days. I don't know what happened. I know we got sidetracked, busy. Thursday we had crypto classes, and there was like a meeting we had in the morning, and so time just got out of hand. I couldn't do a show that day. Yesterday was just meeting after meeting after meeting, so I just couldn't do a show. But I'm here to present the news. What's going on? Bitcoin's just going sideways, and yeah, literally it's going sideways. And like what's happening? Like we're just holding like the 90,000 like $100. It's like the lowest we had yesterday was like 89.6. The high was 95. So it's like we were just bouncing between 90,000 and 90,500. So what's going on? Well, let's go to the news to find out. But first, let's cover some Twitter articles, like what's happening in the space. Like just in, U.S. regulatory OCC approves Bitcoin infrastructure company BitGo and Fidelity Digital Assets to become national trust banks. So a lot of these crypto companies out there are becoming actual banks to apply with the rules that we're starting to make it here in the United States. But yeah, here is a post from the SEC. The OCC has also conditionally approved applications to convert from a state trust company to a national trust bank for BitGo Bank and Trust National Association, Fidelity Digital Assets, National Association of Paxos Trust Company, and National Association. There's so many exchanges and companies that are turning into banks right now, and I guarantee we'll be seeing some stable coins coming out from those companies. So just to abide by the new Genius Act and Stablecoin Act, I forgot which one that one was, but yeah. But let's continue on. What else is happening in Twitter and crypto space? YouTube now lets U.S. creators receive payouts in stablecoins. Awesome. I wonder which one it was. I think it was USDC Circle stablecoin, but yeah, this post was just very vague. I know there's an article out there, but didn't really want to just go through it. And then also UAE's fuel giant ADNOC to accept crypto. So crypto is being accepted worldwide, and we're just getting one business after the other. And again, this keeps me bullish on the price of crypto and Bitcoin and all that stuff. But right now it's stable because we're still getting other news still of like outflows. The moving average is not going. So it's like there's so many like statistical stats out there that's just showing like we could go for a dip, but again, you never know. We still could have a rise. That's the thing. But let's go through some Bitcoin news articles. Like where could Bitcoin be going? Like what's happening? So Bitcoin miners could boost corporate adoption as crypto treasuries buys slow. So yeah, the crypto treasuries have been slowing down with their purchases we've seen, but Bitcoin miners like Marathon Digital Holdings, Riot Platforms, and Hut 8 are already in the top 10 largest public companies holding Bitcoin, so they could boost it. So Bitcoin miners, which can acquire the cryptocurrency at below market cost, could be in the best position to shape corporate adoption as accumulation by crypto treasury companies slows, says BitcoinTreasuries.net. Now, Bitcoin treasury companies are projected to buy $40,000 Bitcoin in the fourth quarter, and that's the lowest since quarter 3 of 2024. Now, BitcoinTreasuries.net President Pete Rizzo said in a corporate adoption report released on Thursday that despite the slowdown, Rizzo said that Bitcoin mining companies continue to anchor public market Bitcoin holdings and account for 5% of new additions and 12% of aggregated public company balances in November. Now, because miners can acquire Bitcoin at an effectively discounted price compared to the spot markets, just via blockchain production, they actually have the miners, they got the hardware out there, they got the electricity, and like they're trying to solve that next block to earn them that Bitcoin. So they're getting it cheaper because spot price is 90,000 right now. These miners are really just paying for the electricity cost, the facility, and however they're going to deduct the amount for the equipment they purchase. So I'm sure that's all in their budgeting. But no, they can probably get the Bitcoin, though, probably produce Bitcoin for maybe like $30,000. I think that's the average, 30 to 50,000. So they're getting it much cheaper than the spot prices out there. But miners are already among the top Bitcoin holders. So on average, miners generate about 900 Bitcoin per day. According to BitBo, Mara Holdings has the second largest Bitcoin stash among public companies with a stash of 53,250 Bitcoin. So that's a big lump of Bitcoin that they're holding. And then they're following suit. You have Riot Platforms with 19,300, 8 Mining Corp at 13,000, CleanSpark 13. And I'm just seeing like these numbers, like these are Bitcoin holdings. And we know Bitcoin's a scarce supply. There's only 21 million. And we already know, like now public companies and treasuries out there are holding a lot of it. Like Michael Saylor alone owns his company Strategy to the power B owns 660,000 Bitcoin. Between just countries itself, the US and China hold at least 200,000 respectively with each other. And then we have all these mining companies. So Bitcoin is very serious. So I'm still bullish long-term for Bitcoin for it going up. Right now, we're just in that cycle pattern still where it's like are we in the cycle? It's been 4 years. Technically, we had the halving. Technically, we did have a bull run. Bitcoin touched 126,000. We didn't have an alt season, but we did technically have a bull run. So we're still speculating. It's like, this the downwards trend? Are we going to go down to 74? Is that going to be our new bottom? And then we start going back up again. So it's still all speculative right there. But just knowing that all these companies are still holding, they're still acquiring, it is just it's just going to make it scarce and hard. So when it's getting harder to be able to actually get Bitcoin, right now it's easy. You can still do it anywhere. Just go on Cash App, Coinbase, whatever. But when it starts getting actually hard to get like large amounts of it, that's when the price is really going to go. But Riot Platforms, talk about these companies. Riot Platforms is the 7th largest public Bitcoin holder with 19,324 Bitcoin, while Hut Mining is 9th with 13,696. Now, Rizzo said that the summer buying frenzy from crypto treasury companies has eased up, but demand has not vanished. So public corporations appear to be normalizing to a slower, more selective cadence as they digest their recent purchases and reassess risk, he added. Now in November, a stress test for treasury companies happened. So November, Bitcoin's price sank below $90,000 for the first time since April, which created one of the first true stress tests for Bitcoin capital markets era, Rizzo said. Now, roughly 65% of buyers purchased Bitcoin above the current market prices and now have unrealized losses on their balance sheets. Now, Bitcoin's late November drawdown pushed spot prices toward $90,000, dragging many 2025 buys into the red. For the 100 companies where cost basis could be measurable, about 2/3 now sit on the unrealized losses at current prices. Now, he did say that this does not yet point to widespread distress, but it does force risk committees and boards to confront the downside of averaging into elevated prices and relying on long-term upside to validate treasury decisions. So maybe they're moving just to a slower down, just more dollar cost average to like, they already got in pretty fast, pretty hard. Because again, adoption was moving really, really fast since President Trump came into office, or even before that, adoption was hitting when we got the ETFs that came out. Like BlackRock started that, institutions started flowing money into it. Then we had the Bitcoin halving, which is a usual known catalyst for the Bitcoin price range. And then after that, we had President Trump come in, who was very pro Bitcoin. And then ever since then, it's just been, we've been in news on ETF inflows going in. So it was very bullish. Now we're in the side where like we're seeing like less inflows happen. So they went in hard in the very beginning. So now maybe they're just realizing we need to slow it down a bit. We're not going to get rid of the Bitcoin because we know where Bitcoin's going as the fiat system slowly goes out. But again, like they're probably just now realizing they're just positioning themselves to be in the right spot. So it's like, okay, we still want to accumulate, but let's not go as hard. We have a nice stack, and now let's just continue doing it slower. So So that's what I think is going on right now. So again, we're not going to get those huge spikes, but maybe Michael said was right. Maybe we're going to get now that steady, just 30% increase year over year for Bitcoin. And I would be totally cool with that. Honestly, I would. So we just got to keep paying attention, see what happens in the space, and we'll see if we're in a bear market or still a bullish trend line. Because again, what am I saying again? But so we're just going to keep following it. That's how I do it every day. I follow the news. I pay attention. I see where the narrative's going. What are people saying? What news is being presented to the people? Because that's going to cause them to change it. So we just got to take it day by day right now. But let's continue on with the news and what else is happening with Bitcoin treasury companies. Because again, this article just continues basically on that one. But Bitcoin treasuries stall in Q4, but largest holders keep stacking their sats. So Bitcoin treasury adoption may have slowed down during the Q4, but biggest companies still continue to accumulate, with public companies holding over 4.7% of the total Bitcoin supply, which is 21 million. And man, that's 4.7% public companies. I wonder if Michael's strategies linked into that, because I think he holds like 6%. But Bitcoin treasury adoption slowed sharply in the Q4 of 2025, even as the biggest corporate holders continue to quietly add to their stacks as smaller players step back. Now, the number of new Bitcoin treasury companies declined from its peak of 53 new companies in the Q3 to just 9 adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets in the fourth of 2025 so far, with a total of 117 new companies adopting Bitcoin this year alone, according to blockchain data from platform CryptoQuant. Now, despite the growth in numbers during 2025, most Bitcoin treasury companies hold relatively small amounts, CryptoQuant wrote in a Thursday X post. But still, the accumulation data shows that the most well-funded corporate treasuries continue to scoop up the Bitcoin supply despite a decline in buying by smaller companies and retail participants. Now, here's a chart showing how many Bitcoin treasury companies were established in each month of 2025. So in January, we had two. February, there was one. Or no, there was four added. In March, we had 10 companies. And then April was three. June, we had 16. July, 20. And then just going from 22, 16, 15, 6, and 7. I was losing track of my count of my months. But some Bitcoin treasury companies have stopped accumulating this quarter. Japanese investment company Metaplanet, for instance, hasn't purchased any Bitcoin in over 2 months. Wait, they haven't? I had some articles on there. Maybe not. Maybe those are just articles on them building revenue to make more purchase on Bitcoin, because they say they do want to buy more. But some companies are even selling their Bitcoin right now. Like, let's see, United Kingdom-based Bitcoin-focused tech company Satsuma Technology sold 579 Bitcoin for around $53 million, leaving the company with just 620 Bitcoin on its balance sheet, according to a Wednesday announcement. Now, largest corporate holders continue their quiet Bitcoin accumulation. So despite the broader slowdown, some of the largest corporations continue to scoop up more of the Bitcoin supply. Now, Strategy, the largest corporate Bitcoin holder, purchased 962 million of Bitcoin on Monday, and its biggest purchase since July. Now, the company is now just 500 million shy of matching the $21.97 billion worth of Bitcoin it acquired in 2024, according to CryptoQuant. Now, here's Strategy's, purchase power invested so far this year. Now, over 1 million Bitcoin worth $90.2 billion is already held in a public company treasury, which represents 4.7% of the total supply. Again, according to data from BitcoinTreasuries.net. And in addition to the 1.49 million Bitcoin, or 7% of the supply, it is held by spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds out there. So that's why I like to pay attention to the inflow and outflow of the ETFs that revolve around Bitcoin. Now, DATs are also slow to crypto purchases as Ether treasury investments fall 81%. So digital asset treasury acquisitions are also slowing down. Ripple-backed Evernorth Holdings has been inactive since the end of October when it acquired $950 million worth of XRP tokens. Now, Evernorth's XRP holdings were facing nearly $80 million in unrealized losses weeks after the purchase amid the market decline and growing pressure on the DATs. Now, Bitmine Immersion Technology is the largest corporate holder of Ether, and he has also slowed its Ethereum acquisitions to recent months from its peak of $2.6 billion in July of just $296 million worth of ETH on December. Wait, is that one? What's his name? Michael Sun? Justin Sun? What is that guy's name? But I forgot. He's one of the Ethereum accumulators out there. But cumulatively, investments from Ether treasury companies fell by 81% in the past 3 months, from 1.97 million Ethereum acquired in August to 370,000 ETH in November. So that one slowed down as well. So again, everybody is slowing down. This is what the news is telling us. Right now, again, they're still stacking quietly. So again, it's not going to play a role in the price. If they're doing it quietly, they're just doing it peer to peer. They went to an over-the-counter exchange where it's Caleb and Brown. They purchased through us through our bulk purchase programs that we got going on. They're doing it under the table. So it's the price doesn't get affected, but they're still stacking it. But then we're also seeing though in these articles though that they are slowing down their purchases. Same with the last one. It's the miners are boosting their holdings, they're increasing it, but treasuries are just slowing down with it. So again, this tells me the price may have a little dip going on. Even though we have that bullish news this week, we had the rate cut, so that's always very bullish, but the Bitcoin price did nothing because of it. Stocks had a little pump and then they dumped right after. But with Bitcoin, that rate cut decision that everyone's always talking about, even I was talking about my show, it's just had a feeling it wasn't going to do much right now. And right now, again, it does feel like we're still in the bearish narrative. So prices still may slowly decline before we go up again. But again, just take it day by day because everything's all new right now. Now, let's see. But on the bullish news, though, and potential inflows of just monetary value energy just flowing into the Bitcoin ecosystem for the coming year, 2026, we have Brazil's largest private bank advising investors to allocate 3% of Bitcoin. Now, Brazil's largest private bank says Bitcoin can improve portfolio diversification and hedge currency risk despite a volatile year for the asset. So, is this the news we're getting for finally to get retail investors into the space? Because that's what we didn't have this cycle in this little bull run we had. There was no retail, like, just boom with it, or retail, what's that word? FOMO, not FOMO, fear of missing out. Retail. There was just no retail at all. It was all just big companies, corporations, institutions, governments. They were the ones fueling it. Like all previous cycles, it was the retail that fueled all of our Callus Points bull run cycles and all that. But so maybe because now banks and institutions are telling their clients, you should invest at least 3% into Bitcoin, this could be that retail boom we've been waiting for. So that does make me kind of bullish for 2026, not to these day-to-day prices, but going into the future. But let's go through this article. So Itaú Asset Management, the investment arm of Brazil's largest private bank, Itaú Unibanco, has recommended that investors hold 1 to 3% of their portfolios in Bitcoin next year. In a new research note, Itaú Assets Renato, EID, said that the global backdrop of geopolitical tensions, now shifting monetary policy and persistent currency risk, strengthens the case for adding Bitcoin as a complementary asset. Now, he called Bitcoin an asset distinct from fixed income and traditional stocks or domestic markets with its own dynamics, return potential, and due to its global and decentralized nature, a currency hedging function. Now, this suggestion comes despite a turbulent year for Bitcoin. The asset began 2025 near $95,000 and then slid toward $80,000 during the tariff crisis, then surged to an all-time high of $125,000 before settling back around $95,000. Now, Bitcoin can steady portfolios amid currency swings. Brazilian investors have felt that Bitcoin's volatility more intensely than global traders. The Brazilian real strengthened about 15% this year, amplifying local losses for local investors. However, the EID argued that a small, steady Bitcoin allocation can still smooth risks that traditional assets fail to hedge against. Now, citing that the bank's internal data, he said that there's a low correlation between BIDI 111, it's a local listed Bitcoin ETF, and other major asset class, which supports the case for adding a modest Bitcoin position to improve its portfolio balance. So that's an interesting chart right there. But by allocating 1 to 3% of their investment portfolio, investors will in fact be taking advantage of an asset that generates diversification, the bank wrote. Now, Itaú Asset launches its dedicated crypto unit. In September, Itaú Asset created a standalone crypto division and appointed former Hashdex executive João Marco Braga da Chuna, that's a long name, look at that, João Marco Braga da Chunas, to lead it. The unit expanded its Atu existing digital asset offering, including its Bitcoin ETF and a retirement fund with crypto exposure. Now, Itaú also plans to develop a broader suite of products ranging from fixed income style instruments to higher volatility strategies like derivatives and staking. So wait, did they say they also plan? Oh yeah, so they plan to develop broader products out there that include more than just holding on to Bitcoin, purchasing it in your portfolio, because you can do so much with your cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin. There's coins out there. Ethereum gives you the ability to stake a coin, earn a percentage on it, because like wondering what staking is, it's just another way to validate transactions on the blockchain. Now, each coin is different. Bitcoin is known as a proof of work one, where it requires actual miners, physical devices to actually try to solve the next block on the Bitcoin blockchain, and they earn it. And by solving the block, they're verifying transactions, verifying the blockchain, coming to consensus with all the other miners out there to validate that the transaction is correct, and then they're rewarded for it. So that's a proof of work strategy. It's like earn Bitcoin or to earn crypto. And then there's proof of staking, which is another version of that. So instead of like having a miner, a physical device to solve those problems, staking is using like a smart contract where you lock away or you hold a coin for a certain amount of time. And by it being locked away, it activates a smart contract to do the consensus mechanism where it's like, oh, this my node over here verifies this transaction is correct. My node is verifying this transaction. And then you're rewarded on top of that. So again, so staking is another way to earn and also verify certain blockchains out there. Again, not all blockchains are the same. So Bitcoin runs on proof of work. Bitcoin's its own blockchain. Ethereum started off as proof of work, but made a transition, I think a year or two ago, into proof of stake. So now you just need to hold Ethereum to be basically a validator. Solana's proof of stake, so no hardware needed. Litecoin and Dogecoin, that is proof of work. So you need a miner and an actual physical hardware device to do it. So yeah, there's different ways to mine Bitcoin, verify transactions, earn it. And how did I even get on that topic? Oh yeah, because the bank plans on rolling even more products out there. So who knows, maybe they'll start getting involved in the mining companies too. Oh man, can you imagine that? Banks getting involved in mining to start supplying it? That would be nuts. So that's full-blown adoption right there. But that is what's happening with Brazil. So that's bullish news right now. So again, like the news today is mixed, which is why I feel like prices are just moving sideways. Like again, this other article is now bearish news. So I'm like going, okay, we're bearish. Now we're bullish. Now we're bearish again with this one. So, so here we go. Let's go through this next one. And but first, hello, John Morgan. Thank you for being here on this Saturday. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. But here's our next bearish news article for Bitcoin's price for why it could go down more. Because when people see it, they get scared and might want to sell to just to stop lower losses happening. But GameStop stock falls after Bitcoin holdings lose value. Now, the firm says it could sell its Bitcoin. They said they could. I doubt they will, though. Maybe they're trying to shake the market out. But markets haven't reacted well to GameStop's latest earnings call, where it revealed sinking Bitcoin value and retail sales alike. Didn't they just hire the Best Buy girl and started a war with Best Buy? Yeah, if you haven't been seeing that like on social media, it's pretty stupid. Like Best Buy hired like an emo goth girl. Everyone thought was so cute, and then GameStop ended up hiring her, and now she's working over there. And they posted something on social media like even we got the best stuff or something. I forgot. But video game retail GameStop stock has fallen more than 3% so far on Wednesday after the company revealed that its quarterly sales and profits were stagnant and that its Bitcoin treasury has dropped in value alongside Bitcoin's sinking price. Now, GameStop bought $512 million worth of Bitcoin in May, making it one of the many public traded U.S. companies adopting digital asset treasuries. Now, GME shares had been on a gradual 30% decline since that moment until its late Tuesday earnings call from $33 to $23.35. Wow, that's a pretty big drop. Now, the third quarter earnings report revealed that the value of its Bitcoin treasury has fallen by $9.2 million over the past 3 months. And that said, the company reported that it remains $19.4 million in the green since its first purchase. Now, it also added that GameStop has not purchased or sold any Bitcoin during the third quarter of the fiscal year. And its treasury valuation dip comes as Bitcoin has suffered a 19% drop from the $115,500 level down to $92,280. And I wish it was at that price right now because I'm doing my little trades with a small portion of my Bitcoin. But over the past 3 months, according to CoinGecko. Now, partially, this decline was prompted by the largest single liquidation cascade in crypto history, with $19 billion worth of positions being liquidated in just one day, according to CoinGlass. And since then, several market analysts have started to slash their Bitcoin price targets as the market potentially looks to turn more bearish. Now, leading Bitcoin treasury firm Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, it has seen its stock drop as not only the firm's $61 billion Bitcoin stash has fallen in recent months, but it also faces the potential of being removed from the stock indices. Now, Strategy co-founder Michael Saylor then later acknowledged that the firm might have to sell its Bitcoin to meet financial obligations. Was it Saylor who said that, or was it the CEO? Because Michael Saylor is not the CEO anymore of MicroStrategy or Strategy. He stepped down. He's now just an advisor. But I believe it was like the new CEO who said that, not Saylor. I'm not positive unless Saylor did say it at some point, but that man's in Dubai, Middle East right now, and he's been saying that he's been addressed, or banks have been coming up to him. So it makes me bullish on Bitcoin there, but I don't think he said he was going to sell. I think it was the CEO. Just want to make that out there. So go look it up. But the firm has since created a $1.4 billion cash reserve to pay dividends to investors and hopefully prevent the need to sell its Bitcoin. Now, GameStop similarly acknowledged in its earnings report that it may have to sell its Bitcoin as part of a treasury management operation. However, the disclaimer isn't new. It was also included in the company's previous quarterly earnings report. Now, the report also showed that the retailer's 3-month sales have declined 4.5% from $860.3 million to $821 million. Oh man, the millionaires just got less millions, right? But I'm kidding. But meanwhile, its 9-month sales have also dropped less than a percentage point from $2.54 billion to $2.52 billion. And that said, its 3-month and 9-month gross profits have increased 6.5% and 7.8% respectively. I'm just spitballing here. I'm thinking GameStop's also losing a little bit, or lost their value because there's no fun games anymore really coming out. If their sales have increased, I'm assuming that's from Pokemon card sales because that's still booming. You still got those scalpers out there just hoarding all the Pokemon cards, opening those packs up on TikTok, Twitter, wherever. But like video games, there's not been a fun game. Like my buddy that he always talks to me about his like stock Tesla. We always go back and forth with crypto and all that stuff. But no, he is like he's always he's a gamer. We used to be both gamers, not me anymore. Kind of ran out of time to do that stuff, but no, he's still in the gaming space, but he's always showing me like, oh well, this game looks fun, or that, or this one not good. He's always seeing what's coming out, but no game's been coming out, so that kind of plays around. I think it's just Bitcoin's price going down. I think it's just the whole gaming side has to change for games to go a little bit better. But regardless of the slight boost in profits that they may have got from Pokemon card sales, I'm just saying it may not be that, but I'm just saying Yahoo Finance, it appears investors haven't reacted favorably to the earnings report as the stock has still slipped more than 3% on the day in to $22.40 per share, and that's a 32% decline from before its Bitcoin bet. So so that's what's going on with GameStop. They're just saying they may have to sell their stash if things to start hurting a little bit more, but I doubt they will. I think they are committed to it. I'm not positive about them being committed to it, but I don't think they would sell low. I don't think they're dumb to do that, because again, that's the biggest mistake in crypto people do, especially if they're a trader. They buy high, sell low. So I don't think GameStop's going to take that mentality. If they're down, they're just going to hold it, because who knows, maybe they are convicted and know Bitcoin is the future and you never want to get rid of it. So that's what's going on with GameStop. Now let's take a quick commercial break, and I will be back with some more crypto news for you. We're going to dip into the altcoin space because I think that was all the Bitcoin news. But yeah, guys, we will be right back after these messages.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
And we are back on. Let me take another sip of my soda water. So good. Gotta stay hydrated. But yeah, we are back. So yeah, if you guys want more information about our club programs we have, especially the confidential bulk purchases, start buying like the big guys do, confidentially under the market. You're not affecting the price at all, and you want to buy a large amount. We do confidential bulk purchases. Just got to be a member of the club. It's only $5 to be a part of our programs membership, which gives you access to all those programs. But if you want classes and the online education we offer, sign up for the classic membership. That will give you access to all the clubs, as well as all the programs, all of our online content, and all of that. And that's only $29.99. But let's continue on with the news. And also, actually, yeah, if you want more information, go to bitcoinben.io or give us a call that's scrolling down here at 941-413-8080. Okay, so those are our sponsors. Let's continue on with the news. So we have now this was yesterday, Bitcoin supply on exchanges has fallen to a new low. This was presented by Bitcoin Magazine. Now, when this happens, that is usually bullish news. People are taking their crypto off the exchange. They're not ready to sell it. This is showing us signs that they are hodling their Bitcoin. They're going, okay, let me just move it off. Let me hold it into a safer place, because you're only safe with your crypto when you're in full control of it. If you're leaving it on Coinbase, Uphold, Upbit, or whatever, it's not in your control, because not your keys, not your coins. Unless you hold the private key or seed phrase, they're in full control. They can freeze your account, stop your transaction, freeze, do all that stuff. So no, like you never want to leave it on the exchange. But when we see exchanges hold a large amount or people moving it into it, that gives us a sign that they're probably going to sell their Bitcoin. So price will go down. But when people are taking away their Bitcoin off the exchange, then they're going for the long term. They're holding it in their own self-custody wallet, and makes me bullish because they don't plan on selling it. So I don't see the price dipping because of it. So I like seeing this chart because of that, just when I get news about this. But let's continue on. What else is happening? So let's see. Coinbase is ending USDC rewards for free users. And speaking of exchanges, it's not being so great anymore. They entice you with free rewards with USDC, but now it's only going to be available for only paid members. They can make this switch. It's their business. They can do what they want. But not all Coinbase users will be able to earn rewards on USDC holdings anymore, as the exchange moves to make it a feature for Coinbase One members. So crypto exchange Coinbase will stop paying USDC rewards to non-paying customers next week, confirming that to Decrypt on Thursday that only Coinbase One subscribers will be eligible to earn 4% on their stablecoin holdings. Now, the exchange first announced the change in an email to Coinbase customers on Thursday, stating it would take effect on December 15th. So that's happening in 2 days on Monday. A Coinbase spokesperson confirmed that USDC rewards are now a exclusive benefit to Coinbase One. Now, Coinbase One allows you to earn 10x the average savings rate in the US with uncapped earnings and no minimum balance. They said, noting that other benefits like no trading fees are also bundled in with that $4.99 a month subscription fee. Now, Coinbase's USDC rewards program has always had a variable rate. For example, in July, right after the Genius Act was signed into law, the exchange was paying up to 4.1% on USDC balances held on its platform. Now, there's always been an incentive for Coinbase One users, though in the same announcement, the exchange advertised that subscribers would earn 4.5% on USDC. Now, when Coinbase reported its Q3 earnings in October, the company said that users had $9 billion in USDC on their platform. That's a 90% increase from the same time last year, according to its SEC filings, which the company attributed primarily to our USDC rewards program. Now, combined with deeper integration of USDC across products, the company also said its stablecoin revenue increased by $107.1 million in Q3. Now, due to the high averages USDC balances held in Coinbase products on which we earn the vast majority of interest on the associated reserves. Now, the platform has also been advertising a system update live stream on December 17th, but didn't share any official details following the leaks. So, the apparent prediction market and tokenized stock trading integrations in November. Now, a Coinbase representative pointed Decrypt towards a teaser for the live stream. So, stablecoin issuers like Circle mint digital tokens like USDC in exchange for US dollars to ensure every USDC token can be redeemed for cash. Now, Circle maintains its reserves in cash and cash-like vehicles like short-dated US Treasuries and overnight US Treasury repurchase agreements. But that means the interest earned on those reserves fluctuate when the Federal Reserve adjusts its target rates. Now, just yesterday, or that was like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, the Federal Reserve approved a third 0.25% benchmark interest rate cut. Now, for the year, dropping its target rate to a range of 3.5% to 3.75%, investors were already worrying last month that the Fed rate cuts would directly impact the interest company earns on its $78.5 billion reserve. Now, as Circle prepared to make its New York Stock Exchange debut earlier this year, the SEC filings revealed that the stablecoin issuer gives 50% of the interest earned on its reserves to Coinbase, although the Genius Act prohibits stablecoin issuers from paying interest or yield on their tokens. Now, it does not stop partners, in this case Coinbase, from offering rewards programs to drive adoption. Now, Coinbase first debuted its rewards program in October of 2019, offering 1.25% on USDC. Now, that was held on the platform at the time, and USDC was still managed by Center, the consortium co-founded by crypto exchange and stablecoin issuer Circle. Now, the consortium was later dissolved in 2023 as Coinbase acquired a stake in Circle. Now, the same month, Coinbase launched USDC rewards, and the Federal Open Market Committee cut rates a third and final time in 2019. Now, the Fed ended the year by unanimously voting to lower its target interest rates to a range of 1.5% to 1.75%. But in 2020, the onset of the COVID-19 global pandemic resulted in 5 unscheduled emergency FOMC meetings and brought interest rates all the way down to near zero. Now, Circle has adjusted its reward rate over the years, but this is the first time it has suspended the program entirely for free users. So for those of you who've been saving your USDC in Coinbase and you're just a subscriber, take warning, because you're not going to be earning those rewards anymore. If you want to, you got to pay $4.99 a month to Coinbase to get it. But I don't know, maybe there's probably some other options out there for you to hold some stable coins out there, earn interest, and maybe even better ones where you can do it inside your own wallet where you're fully in control. So just wanted to share that with you because they're ending their USDC reports and you guys should be aware of it. Now let's continue on with the news. What else is happening in the crypto space? Looks like Ripple expands into European footprint with a MENA stablecoin payment partnership. So Ripple Payments has partnered with the Swiss crypto bank MENA to plug its fiat to stablecoin payment infrastructure into the FINMA regulated institution. So the payment subsidiary of blockchain services companies Ripple has partnered with Swiss bank MENA to provide it with access to its payment infrastructure. According to a Friday Ripple Payments announcement, the company will allow MENA to settle transactions more efficiently without relying on traditional payment infrastructures, making transactions faster, lower cost, and with increased reliability and transparency. And if you're using Ripple, it's definitely faster and cheaper than if they did Bitcoin. Unless they use Bitcoin's Lightning Network, then it's on par, maybe even faster. But this builds on a previous relationship between companies with the bank's integration of the Ripple USD stablecoin happening back in July. Now, the move also reinforces Ripple's presence in Europe, with MENA being a Swiss financial market supervisory authority regulated financial institution. The bank's Austrian subsidiary also holds a license under the European Union's Markets and Crypto Assets Regulation, granted by Austria's Financial Market Authority in October. Now, MENA's chief product officer, Miles Harrison, said native Web3 businesses often run into friction when working with legacy banking systems, adding that stablecoins can help solve those issues. Now, this is particularly the case for cross-border stablecoin transactions, which traditionally banks are yet to widely adopt. Now, banks need crypto services for crypto companies. Harrison explained that the bank's clients need payment infrastructure that can handle both fiat and stablecoin rails simultaneously, which traditional banking networks just cannot provide for. But Ripple Payments, on the other hand, allowed MENA to offer such services, which led to reducing the cross-border friction and helping out crypto-native clients maintain their competitive edge. Now, there is Ripple's tweet on Twitter saying, "Big news with MENA Bank Global announcing this partnership." Now, Ripple's managing director for the United Kingdom and Europe, Cassie Craddock, said that the collaboration lets MENA serve as the on-ramp for digital asset innovators into traditional financial infrastructure, and he added that Ripple Payments provides a bridge between the fiat and blockchain that enables seamless stablecoin payments. Now, Ripple has onboarded traditional finance on-chain. So this is just the latest partnership in which Ripple injected blockchain capabilities into an institution engaged in traditional finance. Now, according to a mid-November report, the company is spending about $4 billion to combine prime trading, treasury tools, payments, and custody to take on traditional finance. Now, Ripple's ambitions are also global. Earlier this month, Ripple Labs received approval from Singapore's central bank to expand its payment activities. This enables the company to offer regulated token services, end-to-end payments, and growth across Asia Pacific. Now, at the end of November, RLUSD was also cleared for use by institutions in Abu Dhabi after winning recognition as an accepted fiat reference token by the local watchdog. So that's what's going on with Ripple news. I guess this kind of affects XRP because, again, Ripple is one who created XRP, the token. And if they're using Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD on this to be the transition between fiat and blockchain, it still does need the XRP token because it's using the XRP ledger to move these coins. Because again, a blockchain, if you want to move coins, it needs a gas fee or a transaction fee that's attached to it. And it's usually related to the original coin of that blockchain. So if you're sending Bitcoin around, you do need Bitcoin in your wallet to move it to another wallet. If you have Ethereum, you need Ethereum to move it. Say you have USDT, which is on the Ethereum blockchain, you need Ethereum to move that USDT. So same here with this. So like if you need to move like the stable coins over, you're going to need XRP. So I guess that would increase its volume. So I guess this really is bullish news for XRP. Now I don't hold any XRP, but it doesn't mean I don't think it's a good coin out there. It's useful. It's got a huge community out there. It's just, I don't want to hold it. That's just my own personal thing. So if you want to hold it and invest in it, cool. That's awesome. There's so many coins out there. You don't need to be a part of it all. Choose 5 of your favorite ones. And like, yeah, XRP just wasn't one of my favorite ones. So that's why I'm not in it, but I will always share still the news of everything going on in the crypto space. I'm not just biased to Bitcoin. I'm sure I am like kind of a Bitcoin maximalist now since I got here, but I still do love the crypto space and everything that comes because Bitcoin can't do it all. Data network, like how can Bitcoin be a peer-to-peer video streaming site, but Theta actually moved on to AI now as well. But again, it's like there's different block checks for different utilities out there. So I don't want to be a part of every single one of them, but again, I like choosing at least the main ones I do enjoy. So again, this is some kudos and bullish news for Ripple and XRP. And where even is this XRP right now? It's still just holding at $2.03 right now. So XRP, like I guess the price didn't really get affected by that news, but it's still holding that range. Now, all right, let's see. What else do we have for you? Technically 1, but 2 more articles, but it revolves around Kalshi, the prediction markets platform. And so let's start off with this first one, talking about Phantom is tapping Kalshi to offer regulated prediction markets inside your Phantom wallet. So the wallet's native feature lets users trade tokenized event contracts across politics, economics, and culture without leaving Phantom. So pretty nice. So crypto wallet application Phantom has partnered with regulated prediction market Kalshi to bring event-based trading directly into the wallet interface, signaling a deeper convergence between on-chain finance and real-world outcome betting. Now, the company said on Friday that the integration would allow Phantom users to discover trending events, track live odds, and place bets without even leaving their wallet. Now, this is a new feature called Phantom Prediction Markets, and it will allow users to trade tokenized positions that reference Kalshi's event markets across politics, economics, sports, and culture. Now, by integrating a layer of tokenized positions referencing Kalshi's regulated event markets with Phantom, users can trade what they care about in real time, said Phantom CEO Brandon Millman. Now, here is that tweet from Phantom. From big games to big moments, discover hundreds of markets and watch the scores and odds change in real time, right from your wallet. So here you can see Philadelphia versus Los Angeles. What are the odds? And yeah, place a bet. Or even when it comes to politics, Democratic president nominee, is it going to be Gavin Newsom, Alejandro Asa? Like now you can place bets straight in your wallet. So cool. So crypto exchanges US prediction markets out there. Again, yeah, prediction markets are booming right now. We're keeping like adoption news on that. Like didn't Kalshi or is it Polymarket that made a deal with CNN for live updates going on there? So yeah, this is becoming a big narrative right now. Last year we've had like AI and the memes. So I think prediction markets is definitely the cycle for, or the narrative for this year. But Phantom has moves come as major crypto trading platforms race to enter the US prediction market business. On Thursday, Gemini Titan, an affiliate of crypto exchange Gemini, received a designated contract market license from U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. And Gemini said that it plans to enter the predictions market space. The exchange said that it would allow users to access event contract trading on its web platform. Following its announcement, Gemini shares went up by nearly 14% in the after hours. Now, on November 19th, tech researcher Jane Moonshan Wong, known for discovering in-development features on big tech websites, claimed that crypto exchange Coinbase is working on a prediction market. Wong shared screenshots apparently showing the unreleased platform. Citing anonymous sources, Bloomberg reported that Coinbase plans to announce the launch of its prediction market and tokenized equities. Now, a Coinbase spokesperson previously told Cointelegraph that the company will hold a live stream on Wednesday to showcase the new products. However, the spokesperson did not mention prediction markets or tokenized stocks. Now, prediction markets face regulatory pushback right now. So while prediction markets have gained popularity in the US, the states of Connecticut has recently taken a stance against certain platforms. On December 4th, the Connecticut Department of Consumer Protection sent cease and desist orders to Robinhood, Kalshi, and Crypto.com, alleging that they were conducting unlicensed online gambling. But Kalshi took action a day later. The prediction market platform sued the DCP, arguing that it's an event contracts and they are lawful under federal law. So Connecticut federal court judge Vernon Oliver stated in an order that the DCP must refrain from taking enforcement action against Cauchy, and this temporarily stops the DCP's cease and desist order against Cauchy. I think it stopped it, but I think it's going to be running forward still. So I think it's going to go till January, and then another in-house hearing like in April 2026. We covered this article on Thursday, so yeah, I was kind of like in the loop on that thing going on with Connecticut. So yeah, prediction markets are still getting some pushbacks in the states, but it's still booming. The retail side is definitely loving this right now. Because again, it's a way you can place bets, make some money, and you're using crypto because of it. And speaking of people winning money using prediction markets, this lucky gentleman turned $3,000 into $125,000. So again, this does happen, but again, would you really throw $3,000 on something? It's kind of like going to the horse track races. When you put $3K on that one horse that you know is going to lose, even though it's got the super odds, that's basically what this is. But let's hear about what he put his bet on and how he turned that $3,000 into $125,000. So American singer David, or D4VD, was the most Googled person this year after a girl was found dead in his car and one Polymarket user profited from it. So yeah, let's see. So a trader on predictions market Polymarket struck gold, turning $3,000 into $125,000 by just successfully guessing who would be the most Googled search person in 2025. That was it. Now, their 3,872% profit came about because the market's outcome was a big surprise. So leading into the results being revealed, there was Pope Leo the 14th. He was the most likely to be most Googled search person this year with a 51.5% odds of it, followed by Donald Trump with a 9.5% odd. Now, at the same time, American singer David had just a 7.2% likelihood of being crowned the most Googled person. Zooming out, the odds were looking even more drab, now dropping to a 0.2% at the end of the November, but when Google revealed its list of most searched people last week, the singer was revealed to be topping the charts. Now, Polymarket user Betwick predicted yes with approximately $3,150 when D4VD was at likelihood a 2% chance, according to Polymarket. Now, as a result, Betwick made $125,000 when D4VD was revealed to be the most Googled person of the year. Now, Prediction Market allowed users to predict the outcomes of real-world events like elections, sports games, and cultural events. And Polymarket is seen as the largest prediction market, as well as the fan-favorite platform with 69% of users on Murad, perpetual sentiment market preferring Polymarket over its competitor Cauchy. So who is D4VD though? I'm sure I had no idea who it was, but that man is a American singer who became embroiled in controversy this September after a 15-year-old girl, Celeste Rivas, was found dead in a Tesla registered under his name. Police officers reported that body was in a state of decomposition and that it was likely that Rivas had been dead for an extended period of time before being found. Now, a missing person flyer stated that Rivas was last seen in April 2024, according to CBS News, when she would have been just 13 years old. Now, friends of D4VD later told TMZ that they believe that D4VD and Rivas were a couple, although they were shocked to find out her real age. Now, unsurprisingly, the news provoked a social media storm around the case, with online sleuths digging deeper in an attempt to unearth the truth. And because of that result, Google searches for D4VD peaked in the week of September 14th to the 20th before tapering off by the end of October. According to Google Trends, still, it appears that this momentary online stir was enough to make D4VD the most Googled search person of the year. Now, before the incident, D4VD wasn't the subject of many Google searches, despite being a somewhat popular touring artist. Following Rivas' death, that changed, with his music catalog and live performances attracting renewed attention. Now, his most popular song was Romantic Homicide, now has 1.77 billion streams on Spotify. The track details a breakup with the artist, metaphorically singing "In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry." Now, previous live D4VD performances have also started to resurface, in which the artist is seen wearing bloody clothes and allegedly bringing a casket to his show for fans to write letters to the deceased. Now, D4VD reportedly brings a casket wreath. This is a Twitter post and notepad with a pencil for the people that was posted by Fearbuck back in September. But D4VT was originally cooperative with the police investigation into the death of Rivas, but the singer eventually stopped helping out. In November, the LAPD identified D4D as a suspect in connection with Rivas' death, according to NBC Los Angeles. Now, all of this is heartbreak, death, and controversy was enough to make him the most searched person on Google, and then a net one Polymarket user, a six-figure profit in the process. So, yeah, a dark ending to that for how he won it. Like, really, it's like again, he was just making a bet who's like going to be the top search person, and it happened to be that guy. And what caused that big search again? A young lady died, found in his car, and that caused a search. People just wanting to know what happened. That just pushed it over. So, yeah, very tragic story for that young lady, but a golden moment for this gentleman who won that. So, that kind of dimmed the mood down. I'm sorry for that, people. I'm sorry. But yeah, so again, though, you can make bets on Polymarket. Let's try and change it. You can make bets on these prediction markets and end up being big. Again, it's gambling. It's like going to the casino, putting it all on black. You can either double your money or you lost it all. And that's basically what this is. It's like these prediction markets are not investments. It's gambling, but it's pretty fun, and you're using blockchain tech for it. So cool. But that's it for the news, guys. Thank you for being with me on this Saturday. I'm sorry that I didn't have a show on Thursday or Friday again, but I will be back on Monday with some more crypto news. Let's take a look at our Fear and Greed Index. Where are we feeling? We are at a 26 right now, so people are still fearful. So prices still could go down, but also it could go up right now. So I'm hoping we do get a little bit of movement. Bitcoin still just sitting at 90,000. $85 again. It's just moving sideways. You look at this week, like the week-long chart, we've had peaks up to 94, 95. Lows have just been the 88,000. And we look back at the month chart, so that was the downwards trend, but we're just now holding. What does the year look like now? Same thing. So everything's just sideways. We do have some peaks, we do have some downward trends, but yeah. But we'll see where we go. We still have 12 more days of Christmas, or 12 more days until Christmas, and then let's see, that'll be 18 more days until New Year. So there is still 18 days left. My math is probably totally wrong, so please don't make my fun of me for that. Let's see, 18 will be 21. Yeah, so it's still 18 days left of 2025. Let's see if we can still break 100,000. I would love to see that. But again, we need more news on inflows going to exchanges, more adoption, more banks telling their clients that they should start investing in Bitcoin. Maybe people will jump the gun on that, but we need more bullish news on that and not the bearish news of GameStop or treasury companies saying we're going to sell our Bitcoin price to get too low. So that's definitely going to dictate where the price does go. So just stay up with the news. And yeah, let's enjoy this. Let's keep stacking together. So everyone have an awesome Saturday, an awesome weekend, and I will see you all again on Monday.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.